Yeah, we find her, the beautiful girl we've been missing. We wanna have her kissing. We find her, now we in love. So it goes out, the remix.
D&B, Tux Bites, remix.
Now if I had to lose you like a bad phone connection, I'd change my game to get a better reception. Sit back, let's start this interaction. Don't fight the feelings, just a chain reaction. Your heart won't give you the wrong instructions. Like my GPS, yes I got the right direction. We gotta merge together like a road intersection. Last stop is gonna be my love and affection. I ain't like the mother dudes, they wanna call you shorty, but I'ma call you a beautiful girl. I took your picture home, my mama saw it, she's a very, very beautiful girl. I wanna put you in my video, cause you're so beautiful. You're a beautiful girl. So when you hear us in your radio, turn up your stereo. It's beautiful girl.
Gotta find a shorty, what's worth of a lady. It's nice but maybe doesn't look like 40. It's taking a little time. I wasn't seeing no signs, any traces of my baby. Who's gonna be my baby? But I thought I'm gonna take my time within it took a little fun eye. I saw a shorty passing by. She's got this very pretty smile. It was right at the pen station. I tried to make a conversation, holding her arms and feeling so tough. I felt this sensation. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. And now I realize I found me a beautiful girl. She's a model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it by. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes are killing light. I found me a beautiful girl.
My wish came true when I saw you, girl. God must have blessed me with your beauty, girl. Looking so right from your head to your toe. Shaped like a cocoa bottle with a smile of a queen. My queen to be, you my destiny. Got a body of a goddess, such a beauty, I'm impressed. And I'm never in distress. Come on over and be mine. Been searching for a man and now all the cats keep looking to mine. With a sexy walk and a sexy talk, she must be from a planet called the sexy world. I know I ain't tripping, better yet I'm thinking put a ring on the finger, we look good together. Take your place in my heart with your beauty, I'ma say that I'll never turn away. Who would think I'm in love?
Such the way she smiles at me just really makes me weak. The way she speaks to me just really make me go so weak. Keep staring in her eyebrows. All I kept on saying is wow. Your beauty shines and breeze at night. All I really want in my life. Oh yeah. It's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it. Beautiful girl. Sparkling eyes, killing tight. I found me a beautiful girl. Yeah, beautiful girl. What beautiful girl, yeah. Beautiful girl.
Damn. Money, you seen her? Hot Ice, have you seen her? LP, have you seen her? I'ma go over to Tux Bites. I know you've probably seen her. He has a lot of beautiful girls with him. Tux, it's D&B, baby. Look.
Beautiful.
I look for a while, but I can't seem to find a beautiful girl so I can make her mine. Time after time, I've been searching for a while, but every girl I meet never seems worthwhile. What can I do? I pray to God for an answer. I feel pains in my heart like cancer, and when I find her, I'm gonna romance her. Lace several presents and gifts. Call me Santa Claus. I make a heartbeat pause. That's my girl, homeboy, not yours. The girl of my dreams, she's more than I ever thought. Show me ass and cut you I think I'm getting punked. She's what I really want, so I'm a go-getter. Since I'm a go-getter, you know I'm gon' get her. And I will give her the world. Anything for my beautiful girl.
Psych. Ooh, it's been a while that I've been trying to find a beautiful girl. Fine, brown eyes. I found me a beautiful girl. She's my model, she's so fine. I just wanna take it, beautiful girl. Sparkling night, killing time. I found a beautiful girl.
Girl, it's your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.
What is going on? Let me know if you can hear me, if you can hear my voice, if you can hear the audio very well. Let me know. I'm coming to the chat to check really quickly. Let me see. Can you hear my audio? Everybody can hear my audio? Yes. Let me check myself, Joe. Let me see. Oh yeah. Right, welcome back. All right, if you're watching me on Instagram, the show is actually on YouTube and Facebook. Okay, so this is just like a little behind the scenes stuff. Okay, but just also let you know that we're live right now. What's going on? YouTube, Facebook, Prestige Family, how not day? Let me see. Hello, D Love. Hello, hit that like button as you're coming in. Do me a favor. Please hit that like button as you're coming in. Shout out to all 11 of you that made it here on time. I appreciate you. Okay, it makes sense when you get here on time. She said that's my jam. Yep, still my jam. Did you? Well, only Instagram people could see me behind the scene before we got started. But anyway, welcome. Hello, Gorex. Hello, how you doing? Welcome. D is here. D, what's going on? Let's see who else is here. Not today here. Area. What's going on? Hello. Let's see who else am I. I don't want to miss anybody from any. Okay, good. I hit everybody that came in. Anyway, today we have a very interesting topic. As you know, we call it the heated debate. She used the premarital partner testing kit, and this happened. And somebody was asking me inside of WhatsApp earlier, like, is there such a thing as a premarital partner testing kit? I said, well, you will find out today. Yep, you will find out today. But we have a video that we want to react to. Shout out to this lady. I think her name is Stopper. She's one of the crews at Your Views at TVC. She was hosting the show today, and we just thought, this would be a good topic that we should get through together. All right. But yeah, before we get into that, let's do some house rules. Let's cover some house rules. My name is Ola. I am coming to you live from my Empire Pro Studios. Over here on Man of Prestige, we talk about relationship from a power standpoint. We talk about social, emotional intelligence. We also talk about seduction and attraction. So today in this topic it looks like seduction and attraction will actually play a very important role. We also talk about in and real love. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you go to loveandprestige.com and make sure you sign up to get the book for free. If you're wondering what my story is, how I'm able to talk about this stuff seamlessly, is because I've been through it. I'm still going through it. I'm on the other side of what most people would consider marriage crisis. So that's why I'm able to share that with you. I share a lot of stuff I share with you. All right. And if you're not yet part of the notification gang, when I go live like this, I notify you personally. So how do you get notified? You go to lolanola.com/WhatsApp on any one of your mobile browsers, and it will take you right into the group. You can join. If that doesn't work, you can send a WhatsApp text messages only. That's what it's designed for. You can send it to this number +1732 305 8577. All right, and I'm looking for the first person to donate today. Donation. I can't afford to shy away from asking you for donations. It is what it is. That's part of what we do here. But if you be the first to donate or the highest donator today, you become the sponsor of the show. We use that to encourage you to help us support the platform so we can keep going, so we can afford to keep going. All right. So, and I want to say at this point in time, shout out, thank you to all of our channel sponsors. We have Richie, we have Chiri, Amwaka, we have Life with Natu. Make sure you support Life with Natu on Instagram with our fragrances. Adesua Odirin, we have Film Girl, we have Open Floor by Tima, we have Show Mama, we have Gorex Corner, we have D-Love. Those are some of our supporters here, and many, many more. And to be many of the supporters, Just Jay, many of you that have sponsored past shows. But yes, I'm looking for today's sponsor. So let's do that. Well, with that being said, make sure you're hitting that like button. I'm only having 6 likes at this point. Tap on that like button. Okay, this is how we ping everyone else into the room. This is the one single signal that will help us spread the word. Okay, so do me a favor, just go ahead and tap on that like button. We've got a few things to cover today. Again, we're going to cover that debate, okay? But I'll be right back. All right, shout out to you. If you made it here from Instagram, shout out to you. Okay. But yeah, let's continue the show today. Just I don't know, some few hours ago I saw this news. Tina Lawson, Beyonce's mama filed for divorce just a little while back. Well, today was the news broke today. So I'm just going to cover this really quickly before we get into the actual topic of the day. Hello, Toby and Tribe. Welcome. D says, at this point, I know 80% of the lyrics to your intro song, MOP. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. You know, I'm working on a new intro, but I was like, I can't remove the song. Whatever I do with the new intro, I can't afford to remove the song. Okay. And that song reminds me of myself from 20 years ago. So I will keep it up. All right. So, yeah, let's keep going. So Tina Lawson filed for divorce and from her new husband. It's not really new anymore. I think they've been together for a while. But Tina Knowles Lawson used to be married to Beyonce's papa, who was Matthew Knowles. Yeah, there you go. All right, so I wanted to fly through some of the timeline really quickly as published on Essence, so we can know precisely what we're talking about, okay? Because it will bring us up to speed, and then I will share 1 or 2 lessons. We do have a sponsor. I gotta change the appreciation song too as well, you know. But Patrick want me to change it. Do you want me to change it? Everybody else, do you think I should change it? We do have a sponsor for the show today. Thank you so much, D-Love. I appreciate you. $25 from D-Love. She's actually one of our main sponsors here, the channel sponsor as well. Thank you so much. Let's dance a little bit. Anyway, what's going on? Welcome back. All right, thank you so much for that, D-Love. I appreciate you. All right, so let's do this, right? I want to go through a little bit of the timeline, okay? According to Essence, number one, in the 80s, they actually met a long time ago. It says, I'm going to read, Knowles and Lawson go way back. They go way back. If you didn't know before they became a romantic item, well, that spells out creepy to me. I mean, you've been, maybe not, but it's almost like he's been monitoring this woman all the while she was married. That's crazy. Anyway, if you didn't know, before they became a romantic item, they met 3 decades prior. His sister was one of our good friends, and when he first met her, okay, maybe that's why. The sisters were friends, right? She was pregnant with Beyonce and married to Matthew. For that reason, he kept his initial attraction to her to himself. Okay. 2013. So they met in the 80s, but in 2013 they reconnected and started dating. After reconnecting following her divorce, which was finalized in 2011, they began seeing each other. The pair stepped out for the first time together as an item at a major event at the Angel Ball in October 2013. Okay, just a little timeline. 2014, she shared her happiness. 2014, she told the whole world, I guess. In 2015, they got married. So they've been married for 8 years. Okay, the pair tied the knot on a yacht off Newport Beach in April of 2015 with the couple's famous 3 children. Well, famous children present. Famous children being Beyonce. Who else? Okay, Solange. Okay. Well, these days, Blue Ivy is getting more popular than all of them, right? 2016, she shared her gratitude for Richard. When speaking on what she's most grateful for in 2016, one of the things she mentioned was the love of her husband. It's Grateful Sunday, and I quote, "It's Grateful Sunday, and I want to share what you are most grateful for," she said on Instagram. "I'm the most grateful for my family and my friends, and also for finding love at 62. You know, the truth is that you can find love at any point in time. But the older you get, you're a walking red flag. What that means is that you need to make sure you know what you're doing. You know how old people get older and you kind of have to take care of them as a baby the older they get, especially towards the end of it? Something similar, you know? You need to make sure you know what you're doing. Okay? I mean, let's be honest. You have to make sure you know what you're doing all the way across the board, right? Regardless of when you're getting married. But when you're getting much, much older, meaning anything 40 and above, and you're getting married, you need to ensure you know what you're doing, because there's a good chance you're coming to the table with certain types of experience that you don't want to copy and paste into the next situation. This is the reasons why there are studies that are showing 60 to 80% of not 60 to 80, it's actually 75%. Okay, I was just trying to be nice. It's actually about 75% of second and third marriages end up in divorce. These are some of the things you want to pay attention to. 62, you know, that's in one aspect of things you're like, it's hopeful, there's hope, right? In the other aspect of things, I just want to make sure that you know what you're doing. What does that look like? Engage wise counsel. Talk to counselors, talk to wise counsel, talk to therapists, use a coach, okay? Because there are going to be, first of all, everything is going to probably look like red flag to you, okay? That's one aspect of everything, right? Or if you're quote unquote hopeless romantic, you might shut your brains off because you fell in love with something. There's no in between. You tend to be on one extreme or the other. Just something I want to put that real quick. In 2017, it was a year of celebration. The couple celebrated plenty in 2017. During that time, Lawson turned 70. The man turned 70 in 2017. So he should be about 74 now, right? Doing so with a birthday bash thrown by Knowles. That's her ex-husband's name. They also celebrated the opening of their non-profit. Okay. All right. So 2018, they went viral. Why? While appearing on the hit Hone series, Black Love, Knowles left people talking when she talked about falling for Lawson. Tina Knowles, right? She said when speaking on the things that attracted her to him, is he perfect? Is he perfect? And then she goes, absolutely not. To which Lawson's eyes showed some confusion. Well, I think that was probably banter. Nobody ever, I mean, a 70-year-old man would know that he's not perfect, right? He also sounded confused, asking, no? Let me see. I think I have that clip here. Let me see if I can play that clip for you. Oh, I carry a do well. Oh, let's see. I think I have it. Yeah, I think I have it. All right. No, not this one. Jesus Christ. Not that one. There you go. Aha. Let me see. Okay. Okay. I do have something here. Let me share this with you. All right.
Pretty incredible things. I'm not so bad. I deserve somebody because I'm great, you know? And that's not an arrogant thing. That's just like all these years I've accomplished all these things, but I never really even took a look at them. I never owned them or felt good about them. So all of a sudden I felt good about myself, and I think that's how I was able to attract someone. So if you are out there and you want to attract somebody, fall in love with yourself.
That's a
and
good
know
point.
your worth. You know, it really makes a difference. At 59, I moved to a new city,
59.
got a new car, a new man, a new life, and it is possible. I envisioned the type of man I wanted.
Like
I
firewood.
prayed for the type of man I wanted, and I got pretty much that. Is he perfect? Absolutely not. But, you know, he has a lot of the qualities.
He said,
no, he has a lot of the qualities that that I love. And we wrote these things about.
All right, that was it right there. He said, no, like, was it perfect? Let me see this comment. This comment by Shah says, this woman literally said she never took the time to own or acknowledge her accomplishments. She realized her worth and value and took pride in that. Sounds like a lady that's done some work to get there. The misogynist and male-identified mommies took her words and made it into something it wasn't. You can tell the hoax whose whole identities are wrapped around in a man and will betray themselves just to have one. You see, the issues here is that, again, modern women and modern men tend to be on one extreme or the other. And unfortunately, life does not work like that. Everything that's sweet about life is right in the middle. Speaking of in the middle, I have another one to cover really quickly. Okay. Everything that you enjoy the most about life is a dance. You're moving through life. Sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's all the way. Like everything is bliss, and then boom, and at the end of it all, hopefully you grow old enough. I was at the funeral today of an old friend. She's only 42 years old, right? Hopefully at some point, maybe when you get old, hopefully you get old, but it all ends at some point. But everyone on the internet today, they think in one extreme or the other. When that woman was just talking just now, she basically referenced him, the man sitting right next to him, to her rather, like firewood. Like, I got a new man. That's what I picked up. Maybe I'm nitpicking her words, maybe, okay? But then the other person on the extreme now is basically talking about male identified mommies, which, by the way, that's a real thing. But for the most part, people that are saying that, they're also on the other extreme of things, right? The people around you, yeah, they will dictate a part of your identity. It's just reality, okay? And when you want to try to turn it completely off, you just collect, because it's not realistic, right? Your children, your husband, your boyfriend, the people you surround yourself with, you're the average of everything around you. This is just a reality about life. So when you don't consider that, when you're creating stories in your head, it's no wonder why you will self-sabotage the situations, the best of situations around you. Why does he have to be the extreme? Why should a man be your identity? Why should you completely discount the fact that the man you're with will affect the way you move, right? Either for positive or negative. And you should appreciate everything around you. You should learn how to move in gratitude as opposed to actively trying to discount it, right? It's not always intentional. I'm just pointing that out really quickly. But let me get back to the timeline. We're talking about Tina Knowles right now before we get to the actual reaction we want to do today. So 2018 they went viral because of that video I just played. 2021 he thanked God for her. 2021, like yesterday, he thanked God for her. In a loving note to celebrate their anniversary in 2021, Lawson recounted their love story, including how he had to keep his incredible attraction for her back in the 80s to himself. As we remained friends throughout the years, I took great pleasure in observing you. This is a quote from Tina Lawson just 2 years ago. Okay, and that's possible. We're not going to shame her for that. You can be feeling extreme gratitude right now. The next day, you remember everything that's terrible about this man. The best of us, we act exactly like that. Okay, and it's, by the way, it's easier to remember everything that's bad about your partner. It's a lot more easier. So the work for you is going to be, if there's anything at all, it's in remembering what you appreciate the most about them. That's going to be your work. That's going to be a lot of work for a while until it becomes second nature. It will become second nature. But that work will almost, it's a test. It will almost take you out because the natural part of you wants to remember everything you don't like about him or her. Okay? But no one is perfect, right? Including Mr. Lawson. So here's a quote. As we remain friends, a quote from Tina Lawson. Tina, now ex-Lawson, back to Knowles. Okay. As we remain friends throughout the years, I took great pleasure in observing you become the ultimate mother. Okay, this is a quote actually from Mr. Lawson, who is an actor, by the way, in his own right. The ultimate mother, especially for your own daughters, but also for the way you care for and nurture women all over the world. He wrote, it took 32 years for my attraction for you to come full circle. It was well worth the wait. I bet he's saying something else right now. You're a revolutionary, visionary, an incredible artist, a fashion icon, a leader, a cultural beacon, a hot, sexy, ratchet, God warrior. Jesus. You are my wife. How highly favored am I? All right, so in 2023 January, he responds to early breakup rumors. Okay, so there were rumors. People can tell. There were rumors already. That's sad. As Beyonce's Renaissance tour kicked off abroad, people wondered why Lawson wasn't by his wife's side. He was probably trying to get some space. There was probably issues already. There's probably trouble in paradise already. 74-year-old man will probably know how to do that. But some things you can't save, By his wife's side, as she supported her firstborn during the big comeback show, some even took to his social media to ask the question. Well, he answered one follower, I'm doing a series here in LA and working on my film. He said in response to the query, thanks for your concern. It's all good. That's a man of prestige. I don't know him like that. I'm just saying, okay. In 2023 July, they call it quits. Now it's over. Sadly, it's over. Let me come to the chat before we go into the actual story of the day. Sir Hill, what's going on, my friend? How are you, man? Good to see you, man. Yep. All right. So shout out to all 29 of you, 28 of you watching me live. Shout out to that one person that refused to go on YouTube, watching me on Instagram. If you're enjoying it, I'm enjoying it. Okay. Either way, But yes, let's talk about this. So the lesson that I really want to tell everybody here. Okay, hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. The lesson that I really want to highlight today is this, okay? Make sure you know what you're doing The older you get, the more you have to make sure you know what you're doing. Now, the reason why I don't go younger is because if you're younger, you're not going to listen anyway, okay? And not only that, you have the rest of your life ahead of yourself. You're going to grow together with your partner that you choose. It's inevitable. The same thing has to happen if you get married at 59, okay? It's just that if you have the luxury of time, then you might as well engage as soon as you are able to engage wise counsel, okay? But the key thing here is that the older you get, especially if you're bringing certain experience to the table, somebody said here the other day, you become coconutted. Both men and women, you become coconutted. It's harder to change your ways. That's number one. Number two, you have experiences that you will naturally try to copy paste into the next relationship, and it's not going to work because you're completely with a new person. Have you ever tried to learn anything new the older you get? It's just difficult. I play the keyboard. I tried to learn saxophone about 3, 4, 5 years ago. I don't have that level of patience anymore. I just don't. Okay. So my son picked up the sax and he started playing it. I encouraged him. Now he's learning the keyboard too. But the point I'm making there is that the older you get, the more difficult it is to be a sponge, to be able to say, to calm down, to be patient, right? To be willing to get to know a person. Get to know a person sounds so cool and so simple until you're in a romantic situation, until your head is full of red flags and that's all you see everywhere you go, right? I'm just saying, if you make sure you know what you're doing, okay? Because, what's the point? What's the point, right? Plus, the only thing we tend to disrespect in this life is really marriage. I mean, we're just extremely disrespectful to the idea of marriage and what makes it work, okay? And what is it that makes it work, that makes marriages work? Well, one of them is humility, okay? Humility. And you're going to have to manage your expectations around other human beings. There's another human being involved. They're not a firewood. So if you sit down there and you're saying, that got me a new man, if that takes over the way you think about this, if it shows up in your behavior, it's going to rub the other person off the wrong way. And they're not. I picked that up. I know it's just words, but it's not just words. Okay? Right? It's not just got me a new man. It's not just that. And I did watch that show back then. She did seem to have taken over that particular conversation that I played earlier. It really doesn't matter. I'm just saying we're here right now, and she couldn't last more than 8 years. Maybe she doesn't need to. Okay. But somebody will be like, oh, maybe they just chose to go their separate way. It's not really a big deal.
Stop the cap.
Yeah, people just don't wake up and want to end a marriage. Stop the cap. Yeah, that's not how that works. It's because it wasn't good for at least one person. Okay, whatever that looks like. Okay, that's why. Okay, but I'm sure there's some more points we can cover as the story uncovers. We'll get back to it. I'll be right back. There's one more short story I want to cover before we get into the heated debates that I want to react to today. All right, this madam here, I promised myself I wasn't going to cover this again. Manita, the ultimate Manita Davido. Our page got shut down. Her pages got shut down. This is a power talk now. Okay, this is power talk now. Okay. I'm just speaking my truth has limitations to it. Most likely your power is not in your mouth. I keep saying that either you're a man or a woman, especially if you're a man, okay? There are people that have more power than you do. It's just reality of life. Okay. This is a good question, Sahil. Why and how did marriage become so disrespected? I don't know. That's a good conversation that we can have. Absolutely. But we're all extremely disrespectful to the institution of marriage. And the best way that it shows up is in our talking points. We're looking for active, exact sciences, talking points to oversimplify it. And I actually think it's simple. Okay? I think it's simple. But I think people are trying to add additional effort in the weirdest directions to oversimplify it. You know, in fact, today's conversation, the debate is going to be about that too. Is somebody attempting to oversimplify the idea of marriage in the wrong direction, and it's not working. So my job is to point them out that it's not working. You know, the compliments are blowing my mind. LOL. He seems to genuinely admire her, though. People write whatever they want doesn't mean. Yeah. We'll find out more later. But we know for a fact that it didn't work. We know that that's a fact. So Davido somehow, or Davido's followers or lovers somehow found a way to shut down this woman's page. They shut down all of the 1 million followers that she got. Let me see if I can still find her. I wonder if I can find her. Let me see. Jesus Christ, they shut her down. Davido does have the power to shut down anybody's Instagram page, especially if they're using it to troll him on a consistent basis. They're using it to troll his wife. He does have the power. All he needed to do is make a few calls and he can shut it down. Okay? So I'm just saying, I don't know if that's him that did it. I'm just saying, it's a possibility. Let me see if I can find that page. Yeah, that page is gone. Gone? Am I happy that it's gone? Listen, I think, let me just say this, okay? Like I was just saying, people are moving mad in the streets. They think they can just defame people, including bloggers. Okay, they can make up stories and stuff like this. You're going to see more and more stories of people, you know, the system pushing against that. You can't just jump on the internet and defame people. There are proper ways to go about it. If you're actually pregnant for a person, you can file a lawsuit, especially if he's a citizen of the United States of America. You can jump into your court system and start the process. But the way she's been moving, it seems like there's more to it. She's dragged his wife. In fact, in recent times, I decided I didn't want to cover the story anymore, right? But recently, she dragged the wife, Davido's wife, Chioma. She talked about Chioma. She was just dragging her for no reason. Talk about she made body to blah blah blah. Why would she sit in a marriage? Why is Davido not shedding light on his marriage in public? He actually does, much more than any other average artist out there. But she was a troll for the most part, and her page is now gone. All right, so I just wanted to highlight that. Hey, let me tell you something. Maybe Davido actually was maybe he actually slept with her, right? But I keep telling you, your righteousness is not as powerful as systems, just systems around the world. Okay, there's a systemic way that this society works. Part of it is understanding power, social intelligence, emotional intelligence, right? Yeah, that's all part of it. Okay. So, and if you don't understand that, you will continue to collect. All right, I'll be right back. Let's get into the reaction. All right, what are we talking about today? We're talking about this young lady. I think her name is Stop by. I think so. I'm not sure. I think I've heard Moriah called her Talk before. But anyway, she's one of the co-hosts on Your View, which is the ladies' show on TVC in Nigeria, on Nigeria TV airwaves. They go live every day. Okay. And and they were having a conversation here about the premarital partner testing kit. I came up with that. But the idea is to test your partners, And I wanted to, I'm like, I thought about it, like, well, that would be ideal. Like, imagine a world where, you're able to, have like a kit, right? And it's about maybe checkpoints or something, 7 checkpoints or something like that to test if your future partner is actually viable for a lifetime, right? Thank you, Gores. Gores says, yes, her name is Tokwe. I thought so. She looks like a Tokwe too. And let me just first of all say, I do think she was being the devil's advocate to make the show more interesting, but she seemed a bit too serious, And I know that there are a lot of people out there advising people to run this kind of test on people, And I thought it'd be a good point of conversation to have today. So the idea here is that the ideal, of testing a partner and see if they pass or fail before you continue to move into the future with them. Thank you. Tokwe Mark Odije. I know the husband is somewhere towards the east, right? So this is another attempt to try to bring romantic relationships down to exact science. And every time I see it, it fails. Okay. And the litmus test, the biggest litmus test in all of this is the reaction of the people around in real time. You can actually look at the reaction of people around you in real time and you can determine like, okay, this is not going to work or this will work. But oftentimes people are stuck on their obsession with being right. So even when the test is failing in real time around them, they're not paying attention. Yeah, people just want to be right.
Well, you're right.
Yeah. People have obsession with being right. So even when they can look around them and see how people react to an idea around them, they can use that to actually determine, right? The self-awareness is so low that they're not paying attention to anything in real time. They're just stuck on the idea of a premarital partner testing kit. Test him. Test her. Men are doing it, women are doing it. Make sure you test her because, to the extent of people starting conflicts intentionally to test how you will react. But let me go ahead into the video and then let's take it from there. All right. Let's take it from there. Shout out to Talkway and Your View. We are reacting all within the fair use guidelines.
Trust in relationship or marriage is an essential recipe or tonic. In fact, there is a common saying that a marriage or union without trust is business or lifeless. Trust to many ought to come naturally or fall into place in any union, but to many, it has to be earned. The question there is how far should one go to ascertain if his or her partner is trustworthy or can be trusted? The big question also is that, is it appropriate to deliberately subject your partner or spouse to test to confirm the trust, or should it be automatic and unconditional? If your answer is yes, then there's a problem. Or if there's a problem with your spouse, or you find out that the spouse hasn't or betrayed your trust when you tested the person, what do you do? The question is born out of a story that I will narrate in a short while, but you can join the conversation by calling us on 081-764-1679 or 090-241.
All right, so before we continue, what do you think about the idea of testing, having some way, somehow, some way, let's be honest, people have real reasons to test. Especially, remember, the older you get, you've had some types of experiences that is not exactly good experiences, and you don't want to repeat it, and you would like to make sure before you move forward into the future, that this person you just met is not just the butterflies in your stomach. Let me make sure I test them. So she has a point, of what she's trying to get at here, but she's talking about trust, right? So a lot of people, a lot of modern day relationships, they do think that they can force, they create a correlation between this test and trust, right? Is there a correlation between testing your partner and trust? That's the question. Okay, that's the question. But let's see what the other people are saying on that panel.
Sort of like you want to be sure that your husband is faithful or your boyfriend is faithful, so you try your friend to try out the person, and or the other way around, and you discover what you don't like. How do you go about it? What was it, Auntie Annie? Is test important in a relationship? Do you believe that people should deliberately test their partner?
I don't believe so.
All right. So Auntie Annie says, I don't believe so. Right? She seems much like a more matured older lady who seems very, very content in herself. Seems like she's sure of herself. She said, I don't think so. But let's see what she has to say about that. Again, in real time, you can actually pay attention right now and see if that will ever work. Okay? You can actually pay attention now. Don't worry about the idea itself as an idea. It makes sense. Ideally, it makes sense. On paper, as I always say, it makes sense. Right? That you should be able to test a partner and make sure that, this is a forever situation.
I wouldn't do that. Unless you give me cause. I don't believe so. I wouldn't do that. Unless you give me cause to do it. Because you will not live your life. You will not live a peaceful life. You just be thinking, I need to test this person.
Wait till Auntie Annie. The whole point is so I can live a peaceful life. Make her just text and be sure of what we're doing. That's the whole point now. She said, you will not live a peaceful life. We've had this conversation over and over here. We will continue to have it because it's clearly a point of contention across the board. Man and woman. Right? But, let's keep going. D says, I didn't like or agree with their take on a lot of issues, so I naturally stopped gravitating towards their content. I'll keep an open mind here. Yes, you keep an open mind. Absolutely. D-Law says, if there's a test kit on the market, I would definitely buy. And then she put a LOL. She's trying to troll me. D-Love, you're trolling me, right? Toby and Tribe says, before I would have said no to testing, but just watching Mary Jane TV and Rosie TV here on YouTube, I was shocked at the amount of gold diggers in Nigeria. It's quite alarming. There we go. Again, the idea is peace of mind. You test, right? So this person can pass. A jump test. So you can a couple of jump questions, they can pass, right? And then we can have peace of mind for the rest of our lives. That's the idea. So again, it makes sense on paper, but somehow Auntie Annie is disagreeing here, and she's saying you can't have peace of mind. What's the issue here? Toby and Try says, maybe testing once is okay, but not continuous testing. You might end up pushing the person away. Listen, that's a key point you just made, but let's keep listening.
Me, I don't have too many things to think. You just be thinking, you will not live your life. You will not live a peaceful life. You just be thinking, I need to test this person. Me, I don't have too many things to think about, so I don't agree with it at all.
She said, I don't agree with it at all. This reminds me of paternity test. She was like, hey, just run this test on these babies so you are sure they are yours. So you can have peace of mind, right? So here's the thing. If your heart is already saying, like Auntie Yenny says, let me test, right? You probably need to do the test because there's no peace anyway. There's no peace for the wicked, right? So you probably need to do this because you won't have peace of mind until you do this test, right? The real question is that will you now finally have peace of mind after you've done the test? That's the real question, okay? After you've done this test, after you run the test kit on your partner, and they passed, will you have peace of mind finally? Will you rest? Will you zukwa nuike? That's the real question that we need to be asking. Because I do think that if it's on your heart and you need to test, I probably won't be able to stop you from testing anyway. For the same exact reasons why I think those tests will fail you. Right? You won't listen anyway. So you will have to do the test. Let's continue.
I agree with you. I don't want to live a life where I'm constantly. I'm not.
That makes two. Two persons on the panel already agree with Auntie Yenny. They're not about that life, right? But let's keep going.
The police. I'm not the CIA. I want to live a peaceful. I don't want to live. Absolutely. I'm on the same. I agree with you. I don't want to live a life where I'm constantly. I'm not the police. I'm not the CIA. I want to live a peaceful life.
And I'm not the SS.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But in the course of our relationship, things will come up that would show the sort of person that you are, that would show the sort of person that I am. But to deliberately set up circumstances to see if you fall or not, I think that is a dangerous game to play. Because if the person also on the other side finds out that you have done that.
What's her name? I never know her name. I think she's from the north. These are Natu's people. She said, I think it's a dangerous game to play. On the other side of things, it's a dangerous game to marry, quote unquote, marry a person that you have not tested, Abby. Is that the idea here? Hey, Just Jay. What's going on, Just Jay? Both gold diggers. I do think they are both gold diggers. Well, you have a society where money becomes a big deal. People will become gold diggers, okay? It's so shocking, very difficult to find true love in that country. Interesting. Even would the result of the test be truly satisfying to you? That's the question we're asking. The motives behind the test. Faith, what's going on, Faith? How are you? Miriam Longe. Oh, she married to a Yoruba man. Is that Longe? Miriam Longe? Is she married to a Yoruba person? Interesting. But yeah, I think she's from the north, from what I remember. Yeah. Anyway, the idea is to have peace of mind. You run this test kit. I promise you, I'm not selling you a premarital partner test kit today, okay? All right. All I want to sell you is just think about it. Let's rub minds together, okay? Let's think about this, okay? We have 2 people already. Okay, shout out to all 34 of you watching me live, okay? This Instagram thing is probably going to be a bad idea, but I'll see what I can do about it, you know. Because if I'm pushing people over to YouTube, if I'm pushing people over to YouTube, then it will mess up with the numbers, it will mess the engagement numbers up. But I'm glad all of you came to YouTube to come and find me here. Shout out to all of you. Okay, what I might do is maybe do the first 5 minutes, 4 or 5 minutes, and then shut it off. You know, like right now, we can shut it off. There you go. Exit. There you go. And then we can share that. Okay, perfect. All right, so yeah, that's probably a better idea. All right. What did she say? What did Miriam say? Let's back it up a little bit.
That would show the sort of person that you are, that would show the sort of person that I am. But to deliberately set up circumstances. I think that
it's very important to spell it out. To see if they will fall or not.
It's a dangerous game to play. Because if the person also...
She said it's a dangerous game to play. Which one is more dangerous? To see if they will fall or not. I'm helping people that want to... I'm helping D-Loves and them. Okay? Which one is more dangerous? Going into a lifetime with a person that will fail 30 years from now, or they will fail right now. Which one is much more dangerous? Think about it properly. Don't just answer with right and wrong. Okay? Think about it properly. Which one is much more dangerous? Right? You get into this situation, a journey of faith, 30 years from now, or a couple of times between now and 30 years, they fell, right? Or they will just feel right now, you let them go their own way, gradually, even if you have to do that 10 times over the next 1 year. Which one is much more dangerous?
the other side
Question for you.
finds out that you have done that, the person will think something is wrong with you, that you put me through, you created a fixed scenario just to see if I would fall. So I don't think it's a thing to do. I would not
So for you,
advise
trust is
it.
automatic.
I don't know about automatic. It is something that you would earn, but it is not something that I have to create a false.
See, the word automatic sounds scientific, and she pushed against it. There's a reason. Again, in real time, you can see if this litmus test will pass or fail. There's a reason why she would rather go with the word. What's the word she used?
Thing to do. I would not
So for you,
advise
trust is
it.
automatic.
I don't know about automatic. It is something that you would earn.
She would rather use the word you earn it than it's automatic, right? That's part of the results you're looking to assess right there, okay? Because she's a human being and somehow she doesn't like the word automatic. To me, automatic sounds like another exact science attempt to oversimplify romantic relationships, right? So let's keep going.
But it is not something that I have to create a false scenario for me to see if I can trust you. In the course of our look at you. I've known you now 5 years. Things have happened between us, and the way you've responded to it or reacted to it has taught me, you know, how to react to you or how to relate with you, because I know if I can trust you on this issue or I can trust you on that issue. But imagine if you found out that I created a fixed scenario so that I will see if Tokwe will fall in it. The day you find out the relationship or whatever it is I thought we had.
So not only do you create a fixed scenario to see if people will fall, it takes a certain amount of energy to do that, right? I think we should note that. It takes a certain amount of energy to create, right? Energy, time, potentially money. To set up a scenario, let's say I'm selling you premarital testing kits today, right now. Many of you will pay $200, $300, $500 for this testing kit. That's a fact, okay? So potentially it costs you money to buy this testing kit, right? So, but more importantly, it takes you time and energy, right? It's actually much more expensive when you think about it in the form of time and energy. And, you know, it's important to note that, right? So it's not just free. That's time and energy away from some other things. Maybe, you know, what other things are we talking about? You know, who cares about those other things, right? But it's time and energy away, because energy is neither created nor destroyed. You're taking energy. Time is the same thing. Time is nobody's mate. It's dissipating every second, right? So it's time and energy away from some other things. You're saying yes to this press kit, and usually this press kit is not, it's probably not a one-off, like Toby said earlier. Yeah, one time maybe, but an ongoing thing. The question is that, can you stop after one time? Are you going to be satisfied after one time? Let's keep going.
Would end. Wouldn't you feel betrayed?
Before coming to you, but there are some scenarios where people have decided to follow that path. It's not out of desire to just manipulate. For some people, if you've been betrayed a couple of times and you are getting into another,
that's the real issue,
and you've lost out a few times, it would be wise for you to sort of invest.
She said to be wise. Wait. That's a loaded. She said wise. She said investigate. Automatic. Wise. I like wise, but she's saying it's wise to do the tests. Investigate. Auntie Yanni said earlier, I am not a CIA. She said I'm not a DSS. Precisely. CIA, FBI, none of that. And this auntie said investigate. Okay, Tokwe is cooking something. Let's keep going.
To be sure that, let me not use the word trap.
To be sure.
Trap. So let me say that.
Wait. No. Trap now. Let's focus on trap. Let's trap this person like an ekutele onidodo before they come and spend the rest 30 years of my life with me where I'm not happy, right? Let's trap them right now, right? So let's stick with the word it's trap. Why? There's no need. Let's just call it what it is. There's no need to change the word trap. Just call it what it is, right? Shebi, we're just machines. Let's just call it what it is, right? There's no reason we shouldn't be afraid of the word automatic or the word trap, okay? Pay attention to the fact again that the litmus test is happening in real time, and everything that's happening in this moment in time, if you know how to properly assess it, it will give you the results that we're looking for, the test that we're running today.
Employed, I'm into real estate. I have had scenarios where some of my staff, some of my staff.
She said staff.
Yes.
Wait. Let's wait. All right. She said some of my staff. Somebody said staff. Somebody's again pushing against. Why are you trying? This analogy is not analogizing. Right? This analogy sounds like another BMW analogy. Comparing human beings to BMW dealership, right? Well, I got staff. She said, I got staff. Let's see what example she's going to make now.
It's a relationship. It's still a relationship.
No,
Staff
it's not a you can't use staff.
Yeah.
Yes, I test my staff,
Yeah,
especially when they're
money
criminals, when they've seen
No.
criminal intent.
You don't know.
She said, I will test my staff if they are criminal intent. Why is it that they are pushing against the analogy of staff? I want you to note that as well. Because she's right. After all, these are relationships too, right? And Auntie Yenny, somehow, she's more comfortable testing her staff, especially if they have track record of being a thief. Right? In Nigeria, I understand when people generalize and say, your staff are probably going to steal. They will steal your stuff. No, I just used the word probably. I'm so used to it. No. Let me take it back. I need to generalize. If a person in Nigeria or that's employed Nigerians say, or any third world country, to be frank with you, say, your staff will steal your stuff, I understand why they're generalizing. Okay? But somehow Auntie Annie is not comfortable doing that when it comes to romantic relationships.
Yes, I will test my staff,
Yeah,
especially when they're
money
criminals, when they've seen
No.
criminal intent.
You don't know if they are criminals. But
I
you
say I have seen criminal intents.
What if you've seen cheating intents? Would you still test to be sure that there's no cheating? What if somebody?
But that's the wrong person to ask. She already said she's not leaving her husband for cheating. She made that clear on other videos that a lot of women did not like for obvious reasons, right? So I think she's the wrong person to ask that question. Cheating intent, would you run tests, right? Again, this debate is not really debating because people who have reasons to doubt the faithfulness of their partner will test anyway. Right? Not only would they test, if they leave that relationship and go to the next relationship, they will test that person because they won't have peace of mind unless they do the test.
calls you. Damola, somebody calls you and said, I saw him somewhere. Then maybe you now plan the scenario to just confirm.
That one that they saw him somewhere, he asked that person, what were you doing that you saw my spouse?
Let me hear from Damola.
What were you do when you saw my spouse? She's telling you what side she leaned to already. Let's go
maybe
back.
you now plan the scenario to just confirm.
That one that they saw him somewhere, he asked that person, what were you doing that you saw my spouse?
She's undefeated. She said, what were you doing when you saw my spouse? What did D-Law say? D-Law says, haha, brother, if they fail right now, that's better, so I can just carry my bag and go. Listen, I can respect that. Okay? Now my next question, what do you mean by they fail? What is this failure, right? Because if you look at Auntie Annie right now, she's saying this person is supposed to fail of some sort, right? And but what were you doing? She's not taking the results, what you might consider a clear-cut result. She's not taking it on face value. She's not asking further questions. Say, what were you doing when you saw that my partner has failed? But wait, she's the one that set up the test. Why is she asking that question? Okay, I want you to pay attention here, right? The person that set up the test forgot that they set up a test. They're now asking part of the element or object of the test. What were you doing when you saw the test? There's confusion already. I don't know if you're paying attention to that. Let's keep going.
Yes. My take on this is that you do not test true love.
Wait. This auntie is about to give us.
Yes. My take on this is that you do not test true love. It is true love that tests you. Oh,
wait. Can you process that? Wait. You do not test true love. It is true love. Wait, it's true. Why would it test me, right? It is true. Why would it test me? Why would true love test me if it's true? You can use true love and real love interchangeably, right? Why would it test me if it's already true? I'm helping you to, I know what you're thinking. I'm helping you to ask the question already, right? Miss Angie, shout out to you. Said, I watched this show and their views are quite interesting. Auntie Yanisha, it's been a while I watched themselves. Time no day. Yes, right. True love tests us sometimes. Sometimes, I would say every time. I say 100% of the time. Right? But maybe to avoid true love testing us, let's just do the test now. To skip all of that. Let's skip all of that. Let's skip all the way to the end of our life and do the test. Right? It makes sense. Scientifically speaking, IT person, engineer, let's do the assessment, checkpoints. Let's make sure that we will create happiness with this stuff before we go into it, right? True love, I need you to process that properly, because it's like an oxymoron for the modern person. It's like, wait, why would I want to go into that? Why would I need to go into that to be tested by true love? Could make sense now, right? It is not hard enough.
Yes, my take on this is that you do not test true love. It is true love that tests you. You do not test true love, because through the relationship or throughout the relationship, things would naturally occur that would...
Why should things occur when you can test all of that in the beginning? I'm being a devil's advocate. I'm being sarcastic, okay? Right? I can test all of that in the beginning. Why? Why should things occur? What kind of things occur? Like leave your shoes at the wrong place? If it's that, I can handle that. Or like somebody's child passed away unexpectedly, like the worst case scenario. Or their mother, let's say their mother passed away. The mother was too young as far as they were concerned. They couldn't handle it. They lost their shit. So now they don't want to do anything intimate for the next 6 months. We can can't we test all of that in the beginning?
Actually help you to determine the behavior or characters of this person. So why are you setting traps? Why are you setting ikugom?
Oh, she said something. She said these things, the inevitable, will actually help you test. We actually test the most important part, the character of this person. See, let me tell you something. All the tests you want to run, right? The scientific tests, assessments you want to run, including the love languages. Did you know that love languages fall on its face after you do the assessment and you know each other's love language? Do you know that still fall on its face? Do you know that when you find yourself inside of it, you actually forgot that you did an assessment? Oh, let me spell this out properly for you. You did the assessment with your partner. You learned, because that's what you should do. You learn the love language of your partner so you can learn how to seduce them. But when you are caught up in your emotion, the last thing you're thinking about is their love language. In fact, you're only operating in that point in time from the standpoint of your own love language, because reality kicks in, right? Your equilibrium kicks in. You go back to your own emotions. This will happen 100% of the time. And it's going to take a little bit of an extra work, awareness, practice over time for you to now be able to say, you know what, let me calm down. My partner is trying to say something to me. It's what I just described is almost impossible, because you're caught up in your feelings. So you're trying to feed off of, you need somebody to feed you with your own love language, as opposed to being skilled enough to realize that it's time to seduce your partner, which is a process, it's a function of time and process, right? Meaning you have to talk in your own feelings for a second in order to get what you're looking for. And that's one of the most difficult things you will ever have to do in your life, right? Let's go back to true love. True love will test your character, right? But how are we going to be in true love if we don't do the test first? Okay, I know it's still confusing. Let's keep going.
Or this to determine the behavior or characters of this person. So why are you setting traps? Why are you setting echo gum? Or exactly, opposed to go mouse traps. So I hear that to
mouse
answer your
trap.
question, somebody tells me that my partner is cheating, and then because I'm unsure, why would I even be unsure of my partner? Why don't I know what he can do?
Because he's human being.
No. I should be.
She answered. She said, because it's human being. Because human being don't be anybody's mate. Right? Why am I not so sure? Right? Let's go back.
I even be unsure of my partner.
Why am I not so sure? Maybe because you didn't do the test. This is the power that happened. Maybe if you had done the test, you would have been sure. Right? You would have been sure. Ola, which one are you saying? Are you sure we should do test or we should do this test? Let me tell you right now. No. Tests are terrible, okay? You're going to fall on your face every time you try to run that. But let me continue the drama I'm doing for a second, okay? Because I'm trying to drive a point home here, right? Why won't you do the test first? So you can already know, so that there's no need. This auntie in orange is conflicting the issue for the modern people right now. They're confused. That's why I should make sure. If I can't make sure, it's better that I stay single.
Why do?
Now, is it better that you stay single? That's another question, right? Is it better that you stay single? When you say better than you stay single, better than what? Better than getting with somebody that failed a test that I clearly did about 10 times over the last 1 year. They all failed. There's nobody out there. There's no viable good husband and wives out there. So they failed. Let me just stay single, right? I want you to process this how you deem fit. Just process it how you deem fit. I just want you to think about it, okay? These are all valid perspectives on this issue. These are all valid perspectives, okay? But we're going somewhere. This auntie in orange is saying something. Let's go back.
And then because I'm unsure, why would I even be unsure of my partner? Why don't I know what he can do?
Because he's human being.
No. I should
because
be able
it's
to
human
tell
being.
what he can do to.
I should be able to tell what he can do. No. Auntie, you can tell how. Are you God? That's what the modern people are asking. Are you God?
To a certain extent, if we are new in the relationship.
Look at Tokwe's face. Tokwe's like, this is the face that I captured for the thumbnail. Test them, evil people. There are evil people everywhere. Test them. Don't listen to Ola. Don't listen to Auntie in orange. Wait. Somebody actually just said that. Let me go back to the chat. Miss Angie said, don't do test to listen to Mr. Ola. You couldn't have said it any better, Uncle Ola. I said it. Wait, there's good points on all sides. But we're going to spell it all out today. I'm going to spell it all out today. We have to. Okay. Let's continue. But look at Tokwe's face. That Tokwe's face is speaking volume. Tokwe is a married woman. She's been married for a while, I think. Hold on. So there are going to be a lot of married people that will try. They're actually trying to help you. And they will try to bring these things down to exact science for them. Just mark this check. Check this one. If you check the other one, there was a video I was watching. Let me see. I think that video is here. If that video is not here, there's a video. Let me see. I just remember. Where is that video? Who posted it? It was a video posted by someone. I'll bring it back another day. But this is the formula that works for us. This formula, you do this, you do this, you do that. And you will have a forever marriage. Okay, it was Shaquille O'Neal's ex and her new husband, the preacher guy. And they had something they called the frame. right? They said, I'm trying to remember, they have the A frame. If you hold each other's hands, you depend on each other too much. And then they had the H frame. If you hold each other, you're one step away from cutting off. And then they have the M frame where they were holding each other like this, and it's hard to get inside. That's a formula. It's a frame. I loved it. It was beautiful. Somebody's going to try to carbon copy and copy paste that into the relationship. Struggle. The struggle is real. The struggle is real. Let's continue with Tokwe.
There's a place for conversation. Ask your partner. I heard this about you. What were you doing here? Their reactions. You have to be discerning in a relationship.
Discernment. Automatic trust. Discernment. Wisdom. No, let's just make sure. Let's just make sure. Mouse trap. Trap them. Test them. Evil people everywhere. They enter a marriage with you only to show you shaggy 15 years into that marriage. And now you are left with nothing but a bunch of trauma.
That's why we ask God for wisdom and knowledge. You have to be discerning. When your partner is lying to you, you can tell. And once you start having this kind of reactions or feeling uneasy, I think it's better to just take
But they are saying, why should I wait until I'm feeling uneasy?
your leave. Exactly. Yeah. So explain. It's better to just take your leave. Exactly. Yeah. So explain.
Have a conversation.
Yeah, talk about it. And if you still feel us.
Mary, I say have a conversation. The modern person is like, are you mad? Have a conversation with Ibao. Like, no. I want to know now so I don't waste. Shout out to D-Love. Say I can carry my bag and go. Right? So I can carry my bag and go. Okay? I want to know now. She said, there's a way you should know. She's like, no. That's not scientific enough for me. I need to know. You should be able to discern certain things. Like, no. Automatic trust. No, not automatic trust. I need to create the trust. Oh, you want to create the trust. Modern people want to create trust out of thin air. Miriam said it needs to be earned. Earning means a function of time, work, right? No. Modern people say no. F work, okay, and time. I need to know now. Give me the testing kit. I need to know now. Auntie in Orange says, you know what? True love will test you. Why should I be going through life doing tests? Who tests help? Right? Why? Why should I do that when I have computers in front of me, multiple screens? As an IT person that I am, multiple six figures, I can do all the tests I want. Right now, I know if it's true love or not. Right now, before we enter true love. Let me know if it's true love before I enter true love. Right? Toby said, how do you know it's true love? Is it an inner feeling, or do you go into the relationship with faith and find out later? Maybe we will never truly know until we get in and things start happening. Omo, Miss Angie Sokwe Indomie generation. How could I've never thought about that name? That is a better name. That is a better name than modern people. Indomie generation. Indomie. Let me leave down the screen for a second. Let's continue the video.
Safe. Just take
because the person might. So if I don't have evidence, let me take this call.
She said evidence. Think about it. IT multiple six-figure people. Of course. Hey, baby. Of course. The multiple IT, multiple six-figure people. What else do you? Who help? Who trust help when you can look for evidence? Right? Evidence. It makes sense now on paper. It makes sense on paper. The question: can it work? Can it work? Well, why won't it work? You did the test. It should work. Right?
I don't understand love here just for me like, we will just be trusting, we will not check to come. Akin, welcome to the show.
Yeah, hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, friends, I just want to contribute to this conversation.
Okay.
It is not necessary and it's not even okay for any partner to test his or her partner.
Okay.
It is madness. Because
This, but I said it's madness. No, it's just not madness. It's being pragmatic. It's being scientific, ensuring intentional damage. It is being intentional, right? It's not madness. That's madness.
if you are testing your partner, it means that you are trying to find a fault. And once you find a fault in your partner, what will you do? It's either you opt out.
He said you're trying to find a fault. You're trying to find the inevitable. Why? Is the inevitable is going to be there? But why should he be there? There are people that don't have the inevitable. They don't have faults. Like Indomie people, they're looking for people with no faults. Right? Because when they see faults, it's red flag, right? No, that's red flag. Hands off. Ola, what are you saying? You're saying people should just get into situation with red flags? I didn't say that too. I didn't say that. Okay. But remember what I said earlier about a certain amount of energy and time that you're spending identifying red flags. That time and energy away from what? Maybe green flags. Maybe green flags. What are green flags? How will you know green flag? Since you can't even recognize green flag if you see one, because that green flag will look to you like a red flag. Why is he so perfect? Why is she so perfect? It must be something. There must be something to this person. You will be actively looking for red flag. Why? Because red flag don't be anybody's mate. It's red. You can see it. It's everywhere. It's easier to see red than to see green. Right? But I say it's madness. No. The modern person, the Indomie generation say no, it is red flag. We should make sure we identify all of the red flags. Right?
Or you cause issues in your relationship. Even when you notice some setback in the area of your partner, as in his behavior or his dealing, the best way is to call that partner back in love, so that the partner would not.
She has a smile on her face right now. She's like, oh, here we go again. Here we go again. In love. Who love help?
That you love him or her. Because testing is, to me, is basically you are finding the fault in order to hold or to opt out of that relationship.
Let me ask you that you've been watching me for a while, watching this show for a while, right? Does testing increase attraction or decrease attraction? Let's keep it an absolute. Just think about it. Does testing increase or decrease attraction? You might say in what context? Wherever context you have, wherever context come to you, use that. Does testing increase or decrease attraction? Okay? Is testing seductive or anti-seductive? Whatever you come up with, I'll be fine with it. I just need talking points, okay? Help me with some talking points. Help me. Let's continue. But this is what I say, you're testing. As opposed to addressing issues in love. And, Tokwe has a smirk on her face. She's like, this brother, you're old school. We're modern people.
It's okay. That's my take, sis.
I agree.
Okay, we'll take a quick break. When we return, I don't agree.
She doesn't agree. I know somebody does not agree in the chat right now, behind the scenes. Shout out to all 30 of you watching me live. We'll go all day, all right. Hit that like button. Shout out to all 30 now of you watching me live, 38 watching me live. We'll go all day, all right, okay? Last. Okay? It's not by force. Love is not by force. If they fail the test, let them fail in peace. Everybody live in peace, jejely. Okay? All right. But for those of you that are like, we're going somewhere here, but I'm still on Tokwe's side, let's keep going.
And I'm allowed not to agree.
Of course.
I'll
She's
take
allowed.
a break and then we'll come and discuss the scenarios where I believe that it tests.
Take that break. Can I quickly read this? It says testing your partner.
Can anybody guess what scenario she's going to give us?
Fadiki Futa says testing your partner can be done with Magun.
She be testing me.
Solves a lot of relationship.
What is Magun? Magun, the English for Magun is, what was it? Thunderbolt. Let me describe it for those of you that are my Oyibo friends. Okay. Magun is a voodoo thing, voodoo juju stuff, spiritual fetish stuff that they say it exists, okay, but I've seen them in movies, in Nigerian movies, where jazz, thank you, Natu, jazz, well, it's only us Nigeria that call it jazz, but voodoo, okay, America they call it voodoo, right? Voodoo fetish stuff that you can put on, that people will put on their wife, right? And if somebody sleeps with their wife, they will go mad, they will become lunatic, and they will attempt to basically become a lunatic in the streets, meaning a weary person, a mad person that just went crazy in the street. You would think they're on drug or something. And from what I remember, if they somersault on the floor, they will die. They will basically be deleted. All right. That's what Thunderbolt is. They call it Magun in Yoruba. Sebi is test, right?
Read this. It says testing your partner. Fadiki Futa says testing your partner can be done with Magun.
No, that one.
I heard Magun solves a lot of relationship problems.
No.
You still want them alive, right? You don't want to test them with Magun. You still want them alive. But the question right now, I'm going to move us in the direction that we want to go, emotionally speaking. If you test a person, can you possibly delete them emotionally? Can you delete them emotionally? Think about that. Can you delete that relationship? Can you delete yourself or that person emotionally by being obsessed with this idea of testing them? I want you to think about that, right? See, it's easy to laugh at the Magun stuff and say, why would you want to hurt them physically? Yeah, well, physically. You can also hurt people emotionally, right? You can also hurt your chances of ever being able to create romantic relationships in a healthy way by this obsessive desire to test. You set mouse traps for your partner, right? By this obsession with identifying red flags everywhere you go. Listen, majority of the platforms out there, they will show you the red flags. I don't have to do that, okay? I don't have to do that, okay? There's more than enough platforms that will actually authentically teach you red flags that you, frankly, should avoid. But what's the other side of this? What's the other side of this? That's the question we're asking. What's the other side of this? Let me come to the chat really quickly before we continue this issue. What's up, gracious greatness? What's going on? Yes, that's why I said circumstances could help in this situation too. It's people just don't wake up. Think about it like this: people don't wake up and start looking for tests. Naturally, people want to socialize, engage, connect with other people. It's a natural order of things. It's bad experiences that makes us gravitate away from nature. Okay? And nature is undefeated. I mean, think about it. Nature is undefeated. Even when we nurture, even when we out of nurture, we create different types of social standards. We'll go in circle, we'll circle back to nature. It's just how things work. Okay. Now, there's also social. There's social intelligence. You don't want to be nature and be stupid. There are people that are doing that as well. We have to be very, very careful. Yo, I'm going to keep it a buck with y'all. Gracious Greatness says, testing an ultimatum doesn't work for keeping the spice, joy, and excitement in the relationship. Umbe. You are jumping. I don't know if the English does justice to umbe, right? But you're making a good point. Emotional. We're talking about emotional, the driving force behind the idea of what we're looking for. But we're deleting it with our own hands. Modern people, multiple six-figure people, you are smart. You know everything there is. There is no everything is inside of the book. Just read a book and you'll be fine. To a large extent, you're right. When it comes to romantic relationships, not so much. Okay, not so much. Thank you, gracious greatness. I just want to believe Tokpa was playing the devil's advocate. Yeah, I said that in the beginning. I think she was. But some of these married people, they're actively trying to help and they're making things worse because they're disengaged from the emotional part of these issues. The biggest variable of this whole thing, emotions. Okay? Emotions. Some of these people, they're trying to help. Frankly, they are trying to help. But they're making it worse because they themselves, they're humans like the rest of us. And they don't realize that they are making things worse. The idea of a romantic relationship will never be an exact science. It could be if you respect emotions. Okay? If you stop trying to discount the power of emotions. So we should operate from our emotions? No. You should operate from an emotional intelligence standpoint, particularly the one that keeps asking questions. The one that just realizes that it's a moving target too. It's a moving target. There's no exact science to it. All right? Thank you so much, Just Jay. Please hit that like button. We're missing about 20 likes. Please hit that like button. Thank you. Hit that like button. You can delete that person's emotions. You can delete that person's affection, emotions, their capability of being affectionate with you in that space of what you're looking for. Meaning you want them to feel like taking care of you emotionally for the rest of their life. Feelings, you want them to feel it. You don't want to manipulate them into it with them passing the stupid test. You want it to be authentic. You feel it when it's coming from a very rigid stone, like very rigid place, like where they're moving like a robot. You can feel it and you don't like it, right? You rather they're in love with you. You rather they have that feeling for you, like they say, yeah, sure, babe, you got that. You like that better than, at this point, I'm supposed to help her. Okay, babe, yes, help. You don't want them to be a robot. You want them to be a human being who is in love with you, but you're also in love with them. That's precisely all types of emotions. Now, should it be 100% that? It's not going to be. That's not sustainable. But that's where true love comes in. True love, right, will test you. True love will say, I can't stand him right now. He's getting on my nerves right now. But I'm going to be there anyway. Why? Because we've been here long enough to know that I'm going to benefit from this long term, right? That's the way it works, okay? But, majority of people, especially Indomie generation, which includes some of you that are 40, 50 years plus, some of you that are Tina Lawson, trying to do this in the time of Indomie generation, you're trying to bring it down to exact science. Like, what are the red flags? Let me look out for the red flags. And then you're surprised that all you see is red flags. You're looking for red flags. You're a human being like the rest of us. What you focus on expands. Even if in reality it doesn't expand, your brain tells you it's bigger than what it is. That's the way the human mind works. So naturally, you will see red flag anyway. But when you spend time studying red flags, you will see more of it and it will look bigger than it is. But if you spend a little bit of energy, all that energy and time on green flags, right? You're looking for things that looks good, right? You spend more of your time on good content, right? On good stories. If you do that, maybe, just maybe that will expand too. Ola, that's cap. Cap, Ola. Cap. Stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Nothing is expanding. Actually, it will expand, okay? The issue here is that you're probably not willing to try it, at least, before it expands. You're probably not willing to. And if you can't, if you have difficult time because of certain types of experiences in the past, watching the wrong shows, Well, not the wrong show. It is what it is. They are more dramatic. They are more entertaining. It is what it is, right? But just being aware is half the battle won. Oh no. Life will not say how now one test, lab test or thermometer. Wala. Wala day. Anyway, Miss Angie, ask them or not to. They are testing, though. They are testing. Topper is telling you now. Topper is telling you. But yeah. Shout out to Gracious Greatness. It says with the £5. It says, I think when Igbo people call it putting a hex on some sort of spell on a person. Man of person, yes. Yeah. You know, but this type of X is very particular. The idea is that somebody sleep with your wife. Right? You're testing the wife and you're capturing a real mouse. Yeah. Thank you so much. Let's dance a little bit. Let's dance because my throat now, I need water. The jam questions are real. It is. And they are doing it. We're not going to trivialize this. People are doing it consciously, unconsciously, but unconsciously is happening anyway. But the consciously one is destructive. Okay. It's destructive behavior. I'm being honest with you. And it's killing the experience for them. It's deleting the experience for them. What we enjoy the most about life is the experience. Why do we call it experience, right? Yes, we can create experiences, right? But if you are part of the subject, you're one of the partners in this romantic experience, you should be experiencing it as opposed to creating it, okay? And if you have to create at all, you should be busy creating an experience for your partner, not testing them. That's called seduction. Ladies, what happened to the days of seducing your partner? What happened to that? Gorek says even the tester too might not know how to do the testing. Their test is a lack of trust in one's self. That's what it comes down to. It's low self-esteem. That's what it is. Because if you're so sure of yourself, you just know that you're not going to attract any type of nonsense. You just know that you know that you know that you know that you know. You're just full of yourself in that way. Okay, and I'm not talking about pride. I'm talking about in terms of your capabilities of attracting the best that this market has to offer when it comes to romance. When you know that, when you've done that much work on yourself, right, you won't feel the need to test. It's lack of trust in yourself. That's what it is. That's what it is, you know. That's a good point, Gorex. Okay? And the second part of your point is this. Life is going to test us anyway. You know, your romantic partner will throw you curveballs anyway. Not intentionally, just life happening. It's called the shit test. They will shit test anyway. Especially women will shit test you anyway. Right? How do you pass this test? By putting all your energy in seduction. Creating the experience. They will forget they are testing you, even if they try it. But you need to know how to, right? You need to know how to. How to will depend on where you're coming from, just so you know. £50 from Gracious Greatness. Super sticker. My brother, thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for supporting this. This reminds me that we need to keep bringing value and not get lost in the funk of the Yule Doce, Ademanitas, Abidi Ekenes. We need to stay focused, always. We do that a little bit. We have to come back to the basics, always. Always. So I would try not to forget, I promise you, because sometimes those numbers will look better. But shout out to you. This is very good. But let's dance small before we continue. And I'll sip more water.
Tina,
All right, he mounted the pressure. So pressure, gracious greatness is the new sponsor of the show today. Thank you. All right, the honorable, beautiful D Love asked person to beat something, but I no go beat anybody. Na drum. No, you're both sponsors. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I have to use this moment to play fairness, even though there's no such thing. You are the sponsor. D Love was dragging me here earlier. She was dragging me. Yeah, she was trying to drag me. She was trolling me. Yeah. But thank you to both of you. I appreciate you. Chiye, what's up? Scatter the challenge. Yes. Thank you to both of you, Jerry. I appreciate you. It makes it make sense. It makes it make sense. Let's continue.
That is what we are saying.
Pressure, Tiwa.
Let's take a break. When we come back, I will tell you the tests that are acceptable because we must open our eyes. Too many people are.
Some tests are apparently acceptable, according to her.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. So we're talking about trust and testing trust, or giving the trust automatically. So I had, and I believe that sometimes you need to test things.
She said things. You see, these are the issues. Human beings are firewood now, right? Sometimes you have to test things. Okay, no, she didn't mean things. Or last stop, she didn't mean things. She meant the relationship, the thing in between them, right? Yeah, right. She's trying to test you. Okay, she thinks you are more likely an evil person, and she wants to test you first. That's what she's saying precisely. Okay.
You know, there are stories of right in the Bible where God, knowing how much Abraham declares love for him, tested the love. Go and give me your son. It wasn't a you.
So when I don't play God,
you are professing you love me. Let's try this out, and he showed that level of love that you are willing to sacrifice your son. I will test you if I'm about to do.
All right, so let me just say this, okay? Let me just say, because if I don't say it now, I might miss the point, okay? Let me just say. The idea of God testing, the way I interpret that is that life will test you, is that true love will test you. In fact, my interpretation of God is literally synonymous with love. Okay, true love, unconditional love is God. God is not a thing or human being who lives on the planet, a 13th planet somewhere. No, it is not. Nigerian Christians, it is not. Okay, true love, our experiencing true love, you experience God. Okay, think about unconditional love. It will test you because you will have questions in your heart when you're in the middle of it. Life will happen. Things will happen in life that will make you want to question even a person that's goddamn near perfect. They don't exist, but near perfect. Things will happen, and you being able to get through that type of test is the issue. But Auntie Tokbae and the Indomie generation will probably tell us something. Let's continue. I just want to make sure I say that before I continue, because it's so important that I say that, because I might just miss it. Life will present tests to you. It's a default. You two deserve soft life. Why are you spending all your time and energy in testing other human beings? You're not God. And you're missing out on life by doing so. You're missing out. You're missing out on the experience. You're missing out on the experience. So what should we be doing then to protect ourselves? I know you're looking for that answer. We'll get to it. Hopefully. Toby and Tribe says, like attract like. If we're not healed or whole within ourselves, yeah, we will likely attract people who will show us shaggy. That's a fact. Okay? Somebody said, my eardrums. Why are you yelling? I know. Because shaggy will yell at you. If you don't work on yourself, what does working on myself mean? I know. There's more questions. We'll get to it. I guess the solution is to keep working on ourselves. Self-love, so we attract better. Somebody's like, yeah. They play. They say, they play. Work on yourself. Kumbaya talk. But you're absolutely correct, Toby. You're absolutely correct. Madam, how far? Greetings to you, Gore's Corner. Agreed. Why would you want tester when this is not perfume? Wahala. Let's continue.
Give you my life. I cannot just give you my life. If I marry you,
Give you my life.
your decisions can determine if I am successful or I fail. I can't do that without trust testing that.
Wait, trust or test? Is she doing that intentional? I think she's being a devil's advocate. Because she changed trust to test.
Sure that you can make a good decision for the family, or you are going to a man wants to can determine if I am successful or I fail. I can't do that without trust testing that and be
Trust testing? That's an oxymoron. You're supposed to just trust, meaning you have no idea what you're running into. Trust, right? Let me give you a news flash. You don't really have a choice anyway than to trust. You don't have a choice than to trust. Okay? We just released a video that you should watch after this show. We will end exactly in 15 minutes, so you can go watch it. It will redirect automatically to it. Make sure you watch it. It says how to manipulate women to stay in marriages, in bad marriages. I think you will find it interesting to watch. It's a flashback to some of our best moments on the shows. Okay? Trust test. Trust test.
determine if I am successful or I fail. I can't do that without trust testing that and be sure that you can make a good decision for the family, or you are going to a man.
Trust test. More, she said, trust test. Trust test. Modern people, Indomie generation say, I'm testing. Forget trust.
Wants to have children with a woman that will ruin the seed of his generation. No. So there are cases where I believe that we shouldn't just, we're giving this our trust so easily, giving our love so easily, and that's why many people get heartbroken and disappointed. But if you have put some tests, it's not a booby trap.
Wait, is that why many people are getting heartbroken? Is that why? You know, I thought that was a good question. By the way, the points she's raising are all valid. The perspective is valid. And, you know, we can't say it's not valid because more and more people are feeling this way. Because people are collecting woto. Okay? Yep. People are collecting when it comes to relationship. People are getting their heart broken, smashed into pieces. So I understand. But naturally, pay attention to this. They are coming up with solutions that actually perpetuates that. Okay? Case in point, test. Let's all become testers. Forget the relationship itself. Let's just test and test and test and test and test and test.
Will you keep quiet?
It is a prove yourself. Let me be sure that you are YK. Let me be you. Don't you want a case
Let me
where
be
you
sure.
will know how sure that this person can? What would he do in this kind of scenario? Not just by observation, but by being deliberately putting
intentional damage.
Everything I do,
by being deliberate. That's synonymous to intentional. When I first came on this scene, I pushed hard against intentional. I knew what I was talking about. These are intentional energies everywhere. You see how when somebody say they are intentional, you might want to run. You might want to say, what do you mean by intentional? Ask questions. So open-ended questions. Stay away from yes or no questions. They are terrible. They tell me more about your social awkwardness. They're weird. Yes or no questions. Okay. Ask open-ended questions and be patient to get to know a person. Okay. It also demonstrates self-esteem. Okay. Because you're not in a rush. You're having a good time. You went on a date to have a good time. Relax. Don't be a tester. Okay? Don't be a tester. I understand the pressure. I get the pressure, but I'm telling you, let's be guided though.
Creating the scenario and watching how the person would react. You don't believe it. Why care? I don't believe you.
See, maybe because I'm not wired like that. There are some people, I know of a certain guy who married a
really young girl.
No, she wasn't young. They were, well, maybe she was a bit younger than him, but she didn't know that he
We're
had
missing
money.
10 likes. Hit up on the 10 likes. Thank you.
After they got married, she now discovered, oh, he has this huge amount of money. Oh, I didn't know. So, okay.
Oh,
maybe
he had money.
wanted to
Surprise,
see if
surprise.
It was true love. And it wasn't just, oh, because I have money, you want to marry me. I don't, maybe I can.
Oh, so it was
understand that.
testing.
I don't know if I can accept
No,
it.
no, that's a good point. Gentlemen, if you have a whole lot of money, okay, you're going to attract a whole lot of noise. It's just how life works, okay? It's called noise in science, right? Meaning a lot of people that just not qualified, okay? But also, I will be forced to ask you, where have you been hanging out? Because if you're hanging out with same social status, you remember we talked about crossing dimensions, right? Racial, religion, age gap, wide age gap, right? Social status, economical status, right? If you cross certain dimensions, you just collect, because honestly you're going to attract unnecessary noise. But if you're within the type, your circle, right, this is my interpretation of do not be unequally yoked. Okay, hola, that's blasphemy, you shouldn't be changing the Bible. I'm saying that's my interpretation. Unequally yoked. I understand he's talking about believers, but I'm just letting you know that the human mind, emotions are nobody's mate. You should pay attention when it comes to that as well. If you cross certain dimensions, you will put yourself in a position where your insecurity will basically play all the games on you. You'll be the sucker of your own games. Okay, so if this guy is playing games, because let me make sure I won't tell her how much money I have. Like, how do you know how much time that goes? If you're a Dangote, you're trying to pretend you're not rich. That's stupid. That's stupid now. There are better methods to make sure you attract the right people, particularly the word attract. The key word is attract, because you will continue to attract who you are. Yes, like attracts like. It's just weird. So I call Cap. Okay, I'm calling Cap right now. If you're really that
Stop the cap.
if you're really that successful, how do you have time to be hiding a bunch of your way of life just to marry one human being who should have their own way of life too, who should also be busy with life too? Cap. Okay, so Auntie Yenny is trying to say, maybe I get what you're saying there, boys.
But
it's not
I
hard
wouldn't
enough.
do that because I am not like that. I work on face value. I think what you see when you see
What
me,
you see is what you get.
see is what you get.
Unless
I don't have any.
Unless you don't collect in past life. People have stuff that they are carrying around. Emotional, intentional damage. People do.
Hidden agenda. I don't like you. You will know by my reaction. So,
and people would tell on themselves, why are you overworking your horsepower? You don't have that type of horsepower. You're taking energy away from experiencing life. Even if you're single, okay, to go and be doing testers. It doesn't work. It's not working. Just look at the dating scene. It's not working. Okay, it's not working. You should be living your own soft life and allow people to tell on themselves. Because if you work on yourself, they will tell on themselves. If they are a walking red flag, they will tell on themselves. If you feel some type of way, you should not go into it. That's an easier, effortless test. Life will test situations anyway. You should not be intentionally creating tests, creating scenarios, fake scenarios to test the person. That's a waste of life. How sad. That is so sad. That people will fall into that space. That the whole generation will actually be in that space where they think they must make sure it doesn't work anyway. Just look around you.
If someone tests me like that, I might not really appreciate
Everybody's
it.
like you.
Well, I happen to be like you, so maybe two people.
She's
now.
like her. What are you talking
I was
about?
even thinking, what test would you even carry out that will put all factors into play? Because sometimes the way we earn trust and show that can be trusted is how you react per circumstance, per time. If you tested someone when you're in your 20s and things were good and you had little responsibilities and the person passes, is that test enough for when you're in your 30s? Maybe someone falls ill, someone has broken their leg, someone cannot work.
These
Will
tests
that
are
test
stupid.
Be able to accommodate when you're in your 50s and you're going through some financial issues. There's just so many things. So how often are you going to do this test? Do you schedule it for every 5 years?
The test is never enough,
It does not make
and they will keep doing
As
it.
you live your life and the person responds and reacts, that is how you determine
Hmm.
who to trust and how to trust, and even when to stop trusting someone. It does not mean that relationships that have worked out for 10, 20 years, you cannot be betrayed sometime in the future.
Absolutely.
And then when it does happen, then you also reevaluate the relationship.
Yep.
But to say that there are tests is funny to me. But having said that, I know that people, especially in movies, because I don't know anyone like that, where maybe if you come from a very wealthy home and you're about to get married or hang out with people and you're trying to confirm that the people that are coming into your circle.
There is finding out the family that people he did say tag table. Right? There's finding out, like Yoruba people call it shiwadi, that you find out what family people are coming from and stuff like that. Vetting. There's a difference between vetting and testing for red flags. Okay? There's two different things. Okay? Vetting, you shouldn't be doing it by yourself anyway, because you're not capable of doing it. Even as a man, you're not capable of it. Especially if you're a woman, you're not capable of vetting your partner for a lifetime. You should seek other male figure, uncles, stuff like that to help you with that. How do you do that? You just introduce them. Let them have a conversation. They know what to do if they're wise enough, right? But even as a man, when you're in love, you're not able to vet. It's an oxymoron. You're in love. It could make sense, right? So you're looking for you're probably looking for ways to justify even if it's a bad situation, right? So just don't count on your own understanding when it comes to that. Like lean not on your own understanding when it comes to that in particular. Yes, Auntie Annie did say timetable. It's a struggle because remember, people that have good intentions would try to understand and they might even make it worse for you. This is what you should pay attention to. Okay, this is what you should pay. I'm rounding up. Around. I want to keep it to time today. If there's no trendy topic today, we might even continue. No, actually tomorrow, I do have a show here with my father that you definitely should come here. I'll be having a conversation with my father on this platform tomorrow. That will be interesting. That will be interesting. Oh my God. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. He was just trying to call me, disturbing me in the middle of my show. But no matter how many times I tell them, they still yes, that's me in my papa's hands. Yeah, that's way back in the days. That was in Dallas, actually. I must have been about 2 years old here or so. Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. It's gonna sit right here. We're gonna have a conversation. I have a lot of questions to ask him, and I'm not preparing him. It's gonna be purely organic. Okay. Chinye say I'm his twin. He is. What if you see my younger brother? Yeah, so that's gonna be fun. But let me just give you, before I come back to introduce this again, let me give you my word on this, okay? Okay. Let me give you my word on this. This is a tricky thing, okay? Because it's almost like I'm leading you astray if you're in the dating scene. I know it might sound that way, especially if you're Indomie generation, modern woman, man, and you're like, you know what, I need to test everything, especially if you've had some bad experiences in the past, and you're like, you know what, I need to get it right this time. I completely get it, okay? But there's a better way. Okay, there's a better way than trying to test another human being. Okay, the idea of testing another human being, that young lady is right two ways. There's one third thing I want to add onto it. Okay, the idea of testing another human being is invasive. She didn't say that part. She said it's manipulative. It is manipulative. It's invasive. It's manipulative. Okay, and I might add, it's anti-seductive. Okay, it's no wonder. It's no wonder why you might have been creating a bad result. Okay, because really we need to take it back to the basics. I keep telling you, we need to go back to the basics. Nature, seduce. Seduce is not the same thing as manipulative. Manipulative needs instant result now. Seduce includes value. You bring value to that person. Okay, you lead with giving value to that person. Okay, and you understand that there's a process, time. You're not obsessed with answers now, right? It makes sense that you might be in a zone of obsessed with answers now, because especially if you've had bad experiences, you don't want to waste time. I get it. I completely get it, you know. But I'm telling you, there's some things that's just undefeated. It is what it is, okay? Undefeated. Okay? Shaming, insult, blame and fault. Remember, judgment. Let's judge it before we move any further. The link is inactive. Uh-oh. Maybe I put the old one there. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I'll pin this one instead. Replace the pin. I've replaced the pin. Sorry about that. I probably put the old one. Okay. It's not effective, obviously. The same thing, you might be like, oh, you know what? What about inside of marriage? Some of us are married. The same thing is applicable, especially inside of marriage. You know, especially you have to pay attention to this when you're married, because you forget about you have to seduce when you're in marriage. We're here, duty, responsibility. We're supposed to just be here. No. False. Okay? You're right halfway. Okay? But that person is still a human being. Okay? And the way you move is influencing how they take care of you. Okay? If you want them to take care of you, you want them to feeling from a place of feeling, take care of you, feel like taking care of you. They're in love with you, at least on a consistent basis. In love is temporary by nature, but from a feeling standpoint, from time to time, they just can't wait. And now it's becoming more of true love. It's a function of time. They're like, I can't see myself without this person. If that's what you're looking for, then that's going to be tested inside of marriage too. Especially inside of marriage, that will be tested. True love will test you. Yes, modern people will try to test true love. That is not true love you're testing. That is you being obsessed, you being anti-seductive, creating terrible results, okay? And you're missing out on an experience, on a good experience. Part of the experience is now, when you're still looking. If you're single, embrace now. Embrace this moment. Enjoy the process. Indomie generation, they don't want to enjoy the process. Like, F the process. I want the result now. So let me test. Alright, but that's not fair. A lot of people have had bad situations, and you know, it is what it is, and you know, yeah, let's get back to anti-seducers, right? Neediness. Just because you're needy doesn't mean you're not coming from a very valid place. It doesn't mean that you don't mean well. It doesn't mean that you meant to harm a person. In fact, a lot of times it comes from a place of trying to protect yourself, right? But in that process, you become a moral police. Number 3, anti-seductive. Okay? You become cheap, like generous, grace. You have lower tolerance, right? A lower sense, particularly a sense of tolerance, right? You're overly conscious, self-conscious, weird. Number 5, right? Intentional, talkative. We must talk everything out. Communication. Do you know what communication is? It means the message must get across to the other side. You're just talking. You're doing a whole lot of talking. Not a lot of results are being generated. Good results. Your desired results. Okay? Self-awareness. Need I say anymore? Let me bring Natu to come and chime me really quickly before we continue. Chime me, my sister. What's going on, Natu?
I'm okay of the Most High.
How now? How you doing?
I'm good, salute.
Salute to you, salute.
Who was the last lady that spoke on your view? She made a very valid point.
Talk or the
other lady, the other household lady.
Miriam, yes, Miriam, yeah.
Miriam.
Yeah.
Testing is not the same as evaluation. You know what I'm saying? And as she said, like, see, as time goes, like, stores will try you. You don't even need to test anything.
You don't need
and
to
like
test.
Like you said earlier, it's only people that are not sure of themselves, that have issue with self-esteem, that are doing all this testing shenanigans. But when you know yourself, you know the people you move with. Do you understand?
Yep.
So you can't just move with anybody that you're going to be unsure of because you're sure of yourself.
Yep.
I mean, with time, people grow, things change. You might see things.
Everybody will be tested anyway. Everybody will be tested anyway. That's what the other lady meant by true love will test you. It's still true love, but it will test you.
Yeah. Yeah, so you don't have to be wasting your energy, and that's what you call anti-seducers. You're wasting your energy and be doing some things that don't even count. So, time that you will spend developing yourself or understanding that person, you want to dig into things that you have no business with.
Yep.
Or digging your hand into stores where you want to get hurt. And also, I think the guest speaker talks about discernment. If you have that spirit, you're not testing anything.
You're not testing.
From afar, you can smell be yourself.
Yep.
Facts. So,
facts.
Yeah, all that testing is just like waste of energy and anti-seducer kind of attributes.
Yep. Thank you, Jerry Natu. Thank you for adding on to that. Everyone, go and support Natu at qualisa.inc. You can find her on Instagram. She sells fragrances. Okay, so make sure you support her. Yep. Thank you, Natu. Thank you for chiming in. I'm rounding up. We'll talk. We'll talk tomorrow.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be there tomorrow live.
Yes, live.
We have to come and hang out with Pops.
Yep. All right, now. Talk soon.
See you tomorrow.
All right. So, that's a good thing. Shout out to Gracious Greatness for the $55 super chat. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you to D-Love. I appreciate you always for your support. For the $25 super chat as well. Toby, thank you so much for your contribution. These are very, very wise words. She said, how do you know it's true love? Is it an inner feeling, or do you go into a relationship with faith and find out later? Maybe you will never truly know until we get in and things start happening. It's an experience, like I said, and you being the one experiencing it, not creating the experience. You can indirectly create the experience, but it has to be indirect. If you are, quote unquote, deliberately, intentionally, it's taken away from the experience and it's probably not working. That's why you even have the time and the energy or room to even think intentionality for the most part. If you're going to be intentional about these issues, I said be intentional with emotional intelligence. Okay, I do agree to be intentional. Be intentional. Put all your intentionality energy in emotional intelligence. Okay, meaning how and why do you respond emotionally the way you respond? Okay, that's the primary thing. And then why do people respond emotionally, and why, and what's going to make them respond? How are they going to respond emotionally? That's why I said the fact that people are pushing against this in real time tells you that litmus test will fail anyway. Okay, so that's the other side. The other side of things is social intelligence. That's the third part of emotional intelligence. The society operates a certain way. Okay, it is what it is. That means if you move weird, you might not be attractive enough to other people. It's just what it is. And being yourself is the greatest. Is the greatest because you don't have to help being yourself. You're just yourself. right? And when you have to step out of yourself, it gets weird. Now you have to leave some room for growth. Sometimes when I say be yourself, some people say I don't need to grow. Yes, you do need to grow. Yeah. Sometimes there's a room for growth, right? You just know better and then you grow, right? So I would say when it comes to the idea of faith, it's all a journey of faith anyway. Why don't you just embrace that? It's regardless of how much pragmatic, intentional you want to be, the best results are created from embracing the fact that this is going to be a journey of faith. Meaning, you're going to find yourself, you feel good about a situation, you just met a young, nice, fine man or lady, and you're enjoying the moment. They're treating you well, they're taking care of you, you're enjoying, you're staying more in the present than being obsessed with the past or the future. You're learning how to embrace the now, right? Now, but how do I detect if, in my police senses, if you work on yourself, your police senses, like Natu just said, will detect all the fake. Like also, just like Toby said earlier, that comment was here as well. Working on yourself will weed out the fakes. How? Don't take away from your experience. Why are you so worried about how? Right? I know why. But you need work. You need to work on yourself. You need to continue to work on yourself and continue to embrace the wholesomeness in you. You're good enough by yourself. Focus, take care of yourself for the men that will value you and then help you create the environment to continue to do that. Take care of yourself, particularly emotionally. Okay? And you as a man, the same thing. Right? As a man, part of the traits of being a man is to be sure of yourself. That's what women are attracted to. If you're not sure of yourself, it's no wonder why you're probably creating bad results. When you're sure of yourself, that's one of the sexiest things you can be as a man. Confidence. This is key. Confidence is key in all of this. Okay? So it's a journey of faith, regardless. You don't need to be intentional about that. Why not just embrace that, right? Just embrace that. And no, you will not know until you're inside of a good situation. You're not going to know. That's the sweetness in this. It's the fact that's what you look forward to. It feels so good that if this person is going to take your heart out of your chest, put it on the floor and smash it out, they'll be able to do it. That's part of it. That's why you're trusting so badly that this person can take your heart out of your chest. This is the fear right here, right? Take it out of your chest and put it on the floor and smash it. You're right. They can do it. But maybe not. You're actually having a good experience. Right? Just imagine that you feel so safe, secure, that you're resting in that situation and you feel good about it, and then you are able to now have time and energy to continue to nurture it. Because if you understand how the principles of life work, if you continue to nurture, you're watering it, it has no choice but to grow. If you can trust in nature, like swim with the trends, don't swim against the trend of nature. Just enjoy that, right? Enjoy that experience, and then all the rest of the energy, intentionality energy that you have left for yourself, use it to water what is happening in real time and watch it blossom and grow. What if it's a situation that you really don't see it? That still goes back to self. Something about you that was just, it still goes back to that, and you have to trust that, okay? And again, if you don't trust what I'm saying, just look around you. All the people that are intentional, they're reading all the books. How is it working out for them? Is it working? Just look around you, right? So if you start up, there's nothing wrong with reading books. I've written a few of them, right? You should read books, okay? In fact, you should read books. But after reading a book, you should read it a couple more times. That same book. If you really like that book like that, read it a couple more times. I promise you, every time you read it, you have a brand new interpretation of what you read. That's because your processing is becoming second nature. It's becoming life as opposed to just regurgitating text, which is what people in the Indomie generation do. They try to bring it down to exact science. They regurgitate the first thing they see that resonates with them, as opposed to soak it in, process it, practice it, get out there, put yourself out there. Yes, potentially somebody taking your heart out. No, it won't happen, okay? It won't happen. It won't happen if you follow what we're telling you, right? Work on yourself, have these experiences. Put yourself out there and gain some experience. Get some experience. Okay? Get some experience. No test people. Experience it. Don't be testing people. Because you're probably going to be, life is going to test everybody anyway. Okay? They will fail anyway if they're in the wrong place. If it's wrong anyway, they will fail anyway. You should trust that process. Okay? So like I said, tomorrow, I'll be here having a conversation with my pops. Okay? I have some interesting questions for him. Okay? My pops was not a perfect man. He's a man of prestige. He's the original man of prestige, but he wasn't a perfect man. But he was damn near perfect. He walks a straight line. He was that guy that everybody trusted. They trusted him. Like, no, Elder Lawrence, no, But yeah, it's going to be interesting tomorrow. So make sure you come back. That was the picture you're looking at was basically of me celebrating him on his 70th birthday. He's still 70. This was last January. And the picture on the left is basically holding me. I'm his firstborn. So it's going to be interesting. I'm looking forward to it, if not much more than you. I think it's going to be fun. So make sure you're here tomorrow. It's going to be 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, New York time. Okay, make sure you're here. Since it's going to be here, I'm probably going to limit it to 2 hours. Okay, but it's going to be fun. I want you to come into the chat, ask questions. He's also a minister of God. He's also written 2 books. Is it making sense? All right. He's also written. He released his recent book. So. Please, somebody remind me tomorrow. Let's make sure we post the links to his books. Go check out his books. It's going to be fun, okay? So shout out to you. That conversation, I'm not sure if we finished it. If you have any point of contention or anything like that, please share. Let's rub minds together. I think all of the perspectives are valid, okay? But I think I need to be holding my 2 feet down on some of these points, okay? Because clearly everything else is not working, okay? But I also want to make sure that you understand that I understand your own point, where you're seeing things from. Okay, I've taken the time to process it. I'm looking at the result you're creating. The result you're complaining about, he's calling me right now. He just tried to call me. Right? But yeah, let me just end it right there. All right, I appreciate all of you that came here today. Shout out to you. Hit that like button on your way out. I appreciate you. Tomorrow is going to be fun. I have a lot prepared for that. Okay, all right. Hopefully you've been enlightened, educated. I'll see you on the next one, and peace.
Your love that I've been missing. I miss all your hugs, your touching and kissing. Make love on the floor, the couch in the kitchen. One love enough, we done enough.